stopping by the channel. My name's Leah, and I'm going to be recapping Real Housewives of New Jersey. This is season 12, episode 7. It was all right. Let's get into it. So the episode opens up where it left off, where we got Bill versus Evan. And I guess it's my thing. I see both sides of this fight. So Bill has left the table because he like, y'all not gonna be telling me my wife's a bad person. Like, I'm out. So he like chucks up the deuces and he's like, he out. So Evan's sitting at the table and he's like, Bill is an accomplice. He allowed his wife to dig on me. I understand Evan's frustrations. I do. Because, you know, so here's my thing. Okay, she was digging on you. I feel like everybody digs on everybody on reality shows, but I feel like you being this upset about her digging on you means that there's probably a little bit of truth to maybe you did some things you had no business doing and you don't want it to come out just like it has come out on Bill. The other part is I also understand, like, I wouldn't want anybody digging on me even if I didn't have anything out there. Like, why are you prying into my backstory and into my life? I also get Bill, like, y'all not about to sit here and try to tell me to call my wife a bad person. And I think that's where it went too far. Because if they wanted Bill to be like, hey, you should have got control of the situation, especially after Shore. Because I get it. Bill could have, like, stepped up and been like, you know what? Everybody's a little too angry. We all just need to take a chill pill and, like, you know, take it down a couple of notches, you know. But he didn't do that. He walked away. So I understand them in that situation. But this one, no, because I'm not, even if my wife is wrong, I'm not going to sit here and be like, she's a bad person just to make y'all feel better about hating on her. Because this is where we're at now. Like, everybody hates Jennifer, but thinks Bill is just the bee's knees. I don't even know why I said that. But that's what everyone thinks. Bill is just so wonderful, and he's being like dragged down by being married to Jennifer. And I just feel like, who are y'all? Who are y'all? So Bill's walking outside the restaurant. Frank goes after him, and Bill is just like, you know, line, you don't cross that line. Like, you're not gonna tell me to call my wife a bad person. He also was like, Teresa was the one who made up the rumor or sparked the rumor, and Jen didn't come up with the rumor. She was still looking like she was just interested in finding out more. So I get that point. I do, but like, Evan does have a right to be upset that your wife was out here, like, you know, sifting through people's trash to get dirt. And on top of that, it's like Evan can't really come at Jennifer, so he's going to come at you. But I do find it weird that he is going after Jennifer when Teresa, he didn't have none of this energy for Teresa. None of this energy for Teresa. And that's because they know you come for Teresa, the viewer's going to be on your head. And that's just what it is. Even though I feel like he had every right to come at Teresa. So while Bill's outside and like Frank and Bill are outside, you got the guy sitting at the table talking about Jennifer digs in everybody's life. And I'm like, how though? Like legit, y'all, like how? Like, give me examples. Because I have not seen Jennifer really be so like throwing people's dirt in their face unless they bring it up like to the group as a group. Like, Margaret legit is the person that found out a rumor or found out about their affair, and then she brought it to the group. Nobody else has done that. Teresa did that with the whole rumor about Evan, like possibly cheating. So it's like Teresa has done all of that. So has Margaret, but I don't think we've ever seen Jennifer since she's been on do that. So that's weird to me that now they're trying to label her as someone that goes digging in people's trashes for dirt. So Bill leaves. Frank made good points, which I was kind of surprised because Frank was like, if the shoe was on the other foot for any of these men sitting at this table, they would defend their wives. And I'm like, that's the thing. Like, y'all are making these jabs at Bill like Bill wasn't going to be like, no ma'am, Pam. Like no. Like, y'all not about to try my girl like that. So Bill leaves, and then we see Louis. Louis pops up. Louis is always red in the face, and I want to know why. I really be feeling like Louis probably be in his car before he shows up for call time, like smacking himself in the face like them dudes do before games, because he's always like cherry red in the face. And I'm just kind of like, why? And you can tell, like, I feel like Louis might be like an anxious person because he always looks nervous and uncomfortable when he's on camera with the dudes and with the girls. Excuse me. So Teresa calls before he, like, while he's there, and she's like, what do you do? Like, she be doing too much when it comes to him. Like, she is very like possessive, and it's annoying. And I don't know if she's like this because he's on the show and she's worried that like he's gonna get himself into trouble. But girl, calm down. Calm down. Like, calm down. So then this is when I got annoyed with Joe, especially Joe Gorga. So Joe brings up the allegations, about the physical violence that has supposedly happened or allegedly happened with his ex-girlfriend in front of her kids. Joe Benigno, which is Margaret's Joe, is like, we always have things coming out about us, and that doesn't mean we necessarily believe them, but we gonna ask you about them. And Louis like, oh yeah, ask me anything, like I'll talk to you about it. So then then Tiki just comes out, right, and says it, and he's like, well, what about this about you getting physical in front of this, like, your ex and the kids? And Tiki's basically like, my wife talks about it, so I just want to know what's up. So then Louis like, I had an angry ex. There was a rumor about her stabbing her husband, but we were cool, and like I let that stuff go. Like, I didn't believe it. And at this point, this is when I'm looking at Joe Gorga, and I'm like, this is lame. This is lame. Because even if you don't have a close relationship with your siblings, I still would be on alert trying to figure out more information. Like, I'd be very specific in the questions that I ask. Like, did you hit her in front of her kids? Have you ever been arrested for that? Have you ever been charged for this? Like, we would be going down. Then I would sit down with Teresa and ask and do this in front of her. Like, I would ask these questions because at the end of the day, if he's going to marry your sister and be around your nieces, you need to make sure that they're safe. Like, you just need to make sure that they're safe. And for you not to pry more, that's wild to me. That's wild. Okay, so it's the next day, and we see everybody with their menses, with their significant others. You got Joe and Melissa, and they're talking about the night before. They talk about the alleged abuse rumors that are coming out about Louis. They feel like something is up with Louis, that Louis might be lying, but they were kind of like, we need proof to pretty much nail him to the cross, basically. And they were saying that Louis basically saying that the women are lying, even though he didn't say that. He just deflected from the question. He didn't answer it. Then you got Margaret and Joe. They're also talking about what happened about the rumors, and they said the same thing that I said, that like Louis didn't answer the question. He just deflected. You got Bill saying, so then Joe talks about Bill. Joe says that Evan and Bill got into it, and Evan said that Jennifer was a bad person. And Margaret was visibly shocked. Like, she was like, and I was like, girl, what? See, that's the thing with Margaret and with Margaret's position about this whole thing. I feel like Margaret, in some weird way, feels like she genuinely didn't do anything wrong, and that like Jennifer is horrible, but I guess she doesn't feel like the men should be in it, because her reaction was weird to me, because I thought she would have been like, he's absolutely right. Then we see Evan and Jackie. Jackie's saying that basically she sides with her husband. She was like, Evan had every right to say what he said, and that she feels bad for Bill because she likes Bill, but his wife is a disaster. And I was just like, Jackie, you're full of it, because you were the main one saying that you can, like, it's weird because they're all supposed to be, we're for women, and you're simultaneously saying that they don't like saying, like, don't believe the victim of, basically, like, victims, basically when victims come and tell you what happened to them in reference to the Louis situation. But then you're basically putting all this onus on Jennifer and saying how horrible Jennifer is and how her husband should be able to control her and all this stuff. And I was like, that doesn't go. That just doesn't go with me. So then we see Louis and Teresa. Teresa is hell bent on protecting her love bubble. And it's annoying and very cringy because she's like, I'm going to protect us. I'm going to protect you. And I'm like, why do you feel the need to always protect somebody? She's annoyed by Tiki being the one that really asked the question, because Louis basically says, his wife has been asking him questions. And Teresa's like, ugh, because she don't like Tracy. She was like, Tracy has left a bad taste in her mouth. Then we see Jen and Bill. And basically we see Olivia. I out of all the kids, I feel like Olivia is the best. Like, she's so confident. It's like, I love her. I love the little girl. Her and Bill are talking, and Bill talks about how he doesn't like that they were trying to insult his wife's character, i.e. Jennifer. Jennifer was like, thank you for sticking up for me. And Bill was like, that bros before hoes mess is dead to me. Which is, the thing about bros before hoes or chicks before dicks is cute when you're like in a relation, like when you're dating and you're like in high school and in college. But then when you start to get married, it's your family before your friends. Like, that's just what it is. It's your husband and your wife before your friends. Like, that's not me saying, like, you should just, like, throw your friends to the wayside. But at the end of the day, that's your husband and that's your wife. Have they back. Have they back. So Jennifer starts talking about the affair and about this situation. She apologizes to Bill because she feels like, she put him in a messed up situation, which she did with the whole fumbling of the hands at the shore. But I'm getting tired of Jennifer constantly apologizing to Bill. But we're starting to see, like, Jennifer's getting tired of it too, because she's like, Bill's silence is frustrating. Like, she wants to talk about the affair. When Bill is uncomfortable, he shuts down, and he's very much of like a devoid of emotion. She also was saying that, like, the having the affair brought back has really resurfaced some trauma, like some anger about the situation, and she feels alone, and she hates that Bill won't just be who she wants him to be. She also, like, Bill also says, I'm imperfect, and it seems like he's incapable of giving her what she wants. But she's like, I don't know if we know Jennifer hasn't left him. I don't think she is, but I think at this point she's just tired. And I think the issue is, if she would have dealt with this 10 years ago, then we wouldn't be seeing this Jennifer. I think we would be seeing a Jennifer that is, rightfully pissed at Margaret, but she wouldn't be breaking down or crying or having to deal with telling everybody that this man cheated on her, because you can visibly see, like, and that's the bad thing, is like, when you hold on to things, they fester. So then your reaction and your emotions are a lot worse than what they could have been 10 years ago. So, yeah, she just should have dealt with it. So the next scene we see is Dolores, Gabby, and Frankie, like little Frankie. Frank finally got the house together. Dolores is worried about her mom. I guess before the surgery, her brothers and her sisters have to be very on top of their mom, because she could have a heart attack at any moment. Like I said in the last episode, she has pretty much 90% of her heart is blocked, meaning that them valves is clogged. And if you don't know, your heart has 4 chambers. So you have the right atrium, it's the right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. My hands ain't doing it right. But you have valves. So when your heart pumps blood, it pushes, forcing valves to open so your blood can go throughout your body. So if that means she has a 90% blockage, that either means that the valves aren't opening, so basically she's not getting enough blood to certain places, and with that clog she basically can't have a heart attack, which is a buildup of blood. um Hopefully she can get it together. I still find it very weird that David is talking to everybody attached to Dolores and around Dolores, but not to Dolores. Like, he's still checking up on her mom. He's still talking to Gabby and Frankie and Big Frank. And if I was Dolores, I would have an issue with that, because I want to have a conversation with you, but you don't want to have a conversation with me, and you're still trying to have ties to my family, when it's like you wouldn't even know these people if it wouldn't be for me. So I would feel some type of way about that. We then see Margaret and Lex. They're basically Dolores. They call Dolores and basically tell Dolores they're gonna have a spa day, but they're not gonna invite Jennifer because they don't want no drama. So the next scene we see is Teresa and her girls. I'm over it because Teresa is acting like she's 12, and it's annoying because she's a lady in her 50s. So basically, it's her 1-year anniversary with Louis. She's extremely excited. Shout out to the diva. She don't care about the Yelp reviews. Like, she's kind of like, let the past be the past, because I have a past. But like, because I think it's Gia and it's the two oldest daughters are in the bathroom with her. And she starts crying. She starts having a moment. And the truth of the matter is, Teresa has been through a lot. You know, we saw her, like, her marriage was horrible and basically abusive. She went to jail. Her ex-husband got deported. Both her parents died. And then we also saw her fighting with her brother and having issues with her cousins. And it's basically like she has it seems like for the past 12 years, she really hasn't had time to just breathe and enjoy life and be happy. So she really feels like Louis was sent to her from her parents, because she asked them to, like, you know, send me somebody. And she feels like Louis is that person that they sent, because she met him like, I guess the next week after asking her parents for that. But what Teresa really needs is therapy. Like, if she needs therapy. She really doesn't need to be with anyone. And I saw a lot of people online saying that, like, Louis love bombs her. So I Googled, like, love bombing. And there's supposedly 6 red flags to love bombing. The first one is things are moving way too fast. They act as if they're your savior. The other one is they'll backpedal from what they say or what they said. They keep bringing up your past and tough times. They treat people below them poorly. And sometimes some things just doesn't feel right. So I don't think, like, if these are the basic red flags of love bombing, the two things I can say is they're moving too fast, and Louis does bring up her past. But Teresa brings up her past too. They both bring up each other's past all the time. So you can't really put that on them. We never seen him really backpedal about his past. He just deflects. He doesn't really act like her savior, but Teresa puts him on this pedestal like he is her savior. And something doesn't feel right, but I don't know. Maybe it's because we're on the outside looking in. But we end up seeing them go on this really nice harbor date. He gets a saxophonist. Teresa thinks that's so thoughtful because she played the saxophone in high school or like in elementary school. So she was like, oh my God, he's listening to me. She buys him this really cute little bracelet. And then she has this letter about how her heart was broken until she met him. And once she met him, she's never been the same, and she's always been in love. Then he pulls out this huge scroll, which was corny, but it's the thought that counts. And it had like 20 something things he loves about her. He said he loves her voice, her fierce personality. So it's like, I get it. That's the thing. Like, I get her liking him. Like, I genuinely get her liking Louis, but she is moving too fast. It would be different if Teresa and Louis had been dating for like 3 or 4 years. Their kids have integrated. They have this relationship with him, and they're like steadily, you know, they steadily progress into what they are, but it's like everything's happening so fast, and I feel like partly it could be love bombing, but I don't really know. But what I really think it is that Teresa finally feels like she has something that is precious to her, which is someone that like she feels like Louis listens to her, he dotes on her, and he makes her feel special. And she's never felt that when she was with Joe Giudice. So now that she has Louis, nobody else can, like, she doesn't want anybody attacking that. And I think she feels when they attack him, they're attacking her, and they're trying to attack her happiness, when most of the time I'll like, even with Margaret, I feel like Margaret's being a hater, but she's making valid points. Like, you have daughters, you got to be a little bit more careful. Even if you had sons, you got to be a little bit more careful, Teresa. It is what it is. We see is Melissa and Antonia, which is her oldest daughter. They're talking about her sweet 16. We found out Melissa didn't have a sweet 16 because that was around the time her dad died. I didn't have a sweet 16. I mean, like, I had like a party, but it wasn't really like a sweet 16 type of party. It was just like, it's Leah's 16th birthday. We going shopping. Come sleep at my house. Let's eat good. Pretty much. But she wants to throw Antonia a huge party. She's basically, Antonia is going through a lot. Like, it's the panoramic. They moved in between the school year. She tore her ACL while because she's a cheerleader during tumbling, and she doesn't really want to cheer anymore. But Melissa is like pushing her to cheer again, and Melissa feels like it's not an option. And two things: I know what it feels like to move. I'm an Army brat, so I know what it feels like to move in the middle of the year or at the end of the year. And I know that feeling of having to make new friends when you already feel like everyone has their friend groups, and it's like you don't want to make new friends. You want the friends that you made friends with back at your old school. So it's understandable, but it is what it is. Like, you're a kid, you move where your parents move. So you really don't like, you have a say, but at the end of the day, you really don't. You can voice your opinions. About the cheerleading thing, it's twofold, because part of me feels like maybe Antonia doesn't want to do it because she's depressed, and she just feels like she's scared that she's gonna hurt herself again, because tearing your ACL is serious. So I it's understandable, but I also feel from Melissa's perspective, she might be feeling like her child she's going to squander an opportunity. Kids, like, when you're that young, you don't think about it that way. You just feel like, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore. And even though she's really good at it, like Melissa has said, if she doesn't want to do it anymore, you don't really want to force her. But then it's like your parents' job is to push you to be your best self. So I can understand Melissa trying to push her to still be a cheerleader, because she knows it's important to her daughter. But right now her child is just in this mindset where, like, she's depressed. She's not with her friends anymore. They move, like, she's like, it's the Panasonic, and she hurt herself, and she's probably afraid of getting hurt. So I feel like Melissa has to be gentle in the way that she pushes her child, because if she keep pushing her, the girl gonna shut down completely, and then that's a bigger issue in of itself. So it's now the spa day. This is where I say Margaret is a hater, because everybody gets there. Dolores is the last person to show up. Margaret is completely like, why is Teresa smiling? Like, I thought she would be upset about, the Louis rumors. And I'm like, okay, if she's not, she's not. And that's the thing. If she doesn't show you, she doesn't have to show you that she's upset. You're not really someone she trusts or wants to rely on. So it doesn't make sense why you feel the need to. It's just weird to me. Margaret is weird to me, because it's like, that's the thing. What Margaret is saying is factual. Like, you want to believe the victims. You need to vet, like, the things you hear about somebody, the rumors, but it's not coming from a genuine place of concern. It's coming from a place of being messy and nasty. So when she does it, it comes off haterish, because it's like, you're not concerned. You just want to see her miserable. And that's why Teresa has her guard up with Margaret. So And it's weird because Margaret's like, she didn't want to invite Jen because she didn't want to start drama. But then the first time you see Teresa, you bring up the Louis stuff. Then when Teresa, Jackie, and Dolores go to get like their spa treatments, you're talking to Melissa and Tracy and them about it. So it's like, what is it, Margaret? Did you not want drama, or did you want drama, or you just didn't want Jennifer there? Like, we know you didn't want her there, but stop saying you did it. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Margaret is getting on my nerves because I like pigtails, but she's getting on my nerves because it's like you're trying to act like you're trying to be caring and considerate when you're not. You're just be messy. Own your messiness, lady. So Dolores shows up. Like I said, she was the last person to get there. She's talking about, like I said, her mom can't be left alone because she could have a heart attack at any moment, and they want to make sure she gets to the, to get her surgery. I do know that they did like a little clip, and it did show that like Dolores put something out, and her mom is okay. Like, her mom's okay, which I'm happy for her about that. Like I said, Jackie, Dolores, and Teresa go to get their first spa treatment up first. Melissa is, so now there's just Tracy, Melissa, and Margaret. And Melissa is talking about, Antonia being depressed and how she feels like it's messed up that David is talking to everyone around Dolores, but not talking to Dolores. And then we find out about how, I guess, Melissa's parents might have had a divorce or a breakup, so they moved to Florida. And Melissa was talking about how hard it was because she was like, I'm this dark. She was like, I got this dark hair, curly hair. We're moving from New Jersey to Florida, and I was like a fish out of water, and I got bullied for it. So she says she kind of feels bad that she moved her kids, but things happen. We then see it flips back, like, so Dolores and them are done with their spa treatment. So now it's Dolores, Teresa, and Jackie having their time to talk. And basically, Teresa don't like Tracy. And I kind of didn't like Tracy's comment. So before they started the spa treatment and everything, Tracy basically said that Jennifer was miserable in her marriage. So that's why she's taking it out on everybody. And I give Teresa credit where she was like, you don't know her to have that assumption or that view of her. So it's like Tracy is just saying things, like little things, to make herself pop, because as we know, Tracy was supposed to be a full-time housewife, but she got demoted. And it's clear why she got demoted, because she's a gnat. She's like Nicole on OC. Like, she was there, she kicked off some drama, and then she fades into the background. And I think that's what Tracy didn't. That's the problem. Tracy didn't come out the gate swinging. She came out the gate, she walked out the gate, and now she's trying to give little jabs, but it's like they're not hitting the way you think they're hitting. And then for you to go after Teresa, who's like the big fish, now you got an issue. Like, now it's the issue. So once the other girls get their stuff done, it's all the ladies, they're at the pool, and basically they talk about Jennifer. They talk about how hurt Jennifer is because Teresa brought up how what Margaret did was malicious. And it's like, yes, what she did was malicious, but what you did to Jackie was malicious too, Teresa. So call a thing a thing. Like, what you did was wrong. So Margaret was like, Jennifer goes after people hard. And I'm like, she does, but so do you. That's the part why I can't totally get with Margaret, because she acts like she doesn't hit below the belt like Jennifer does. Like, y'all equally hit each other in the chest. But Dolores basically says someone's gonna have to eat crow because Jennifer is extremely hurt. Like, she is raw right now. And Margaret actually looks sad because, I think Margaret really didn't think Jennifer was going to have this reaction and didn't think that the viewers or other people were going to see her as such a horrible person. But now I feel like sis is going to start backpedaling, especially at that reunion. So the last scene of the episode is Jennifer with her brother Stevie. We know he's the brother that's gay. And they're basically having a little nice chat at a bagel shop. And we find out that she told her mom. Her mom was pissed at Margaret, wanting revenge. And then she basically told everybody. She said, I told my mom because I didn't want my mom to find out. But she told all her siblings and told all her friends about Bill's affair. Her brother is basically like, how are you dealing with this? And she was like, not so well. She said, I thought I dealt with it privately, but now that it's public, it's a whole nother feeling. So she was like, honestly, her and Bill haven't had a talk about the affair. She talked about going to therapy, but Bill's whole thing is like he didn't want to open Pandora's box and think they won't close it, which makes me feel like, Bill, have you been stepping out even more? What you been doing, Bill? Okay. Okay, Bill. But he doesn't want to go to therapy. When Bill gets, like I said, when Bill gets uncomfortable, he shuts down, and that's basically what she's doing. She says she doesn't want to end up like her mom, where she's like stuck in a marriage and then 50 years goes by and she's like hating life and very resentful towards Bill. She's like questioning her marriage now, and she was just like, I don't believe in people staying in marriages if they don't serve you. So, but she was like, she wants her marriage, but she doesn't know. She really doesn't know the future of her marriage. Like, and that's understandable. Like right now she's dealing with a lot, and I think the thing that has people kind of like, well, if the affair happened 10 years ago, why do you feel this way? And Jennifer's whole thing is like, she dealt with it. She moved, like she didn't deal with it. She just moved. She kept moving. And that's the issue when you just keep moving and you don't process a situation. When it hits you like tenfold. And then now it's like it would be different if she would have left when she had those other kids, because she probably wouldn't have had the other kids that she has. And she wouldn't have the history she has now with her kids being in a family in a 2-parent household. So it's like you have way more things to think about because your kids are now old enough to know what's going on and have a perspective. So I think that's really what she's really dealing with. But yeah, y'all, that was the whole episode. I didn't think I was going to talk this long, but that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic and drop down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. I'm out. Deuces.